Thank you so much, Tommaso, and good morning, everyone, and a warm welcome to the session on successful digital well-being initiatives in school. I'm delighted to see everyone back and to engage yet in another multi-stakeholder conversation, but this time also including the voices of young people. We heard yesterday in the opening speeches that the digital transformation cannot happen without the young people. Their presence is important and essential when discussing digital well-being initiatives in schools and the topic in general. Today, we have the opportunity to directly hear from 5 remarkable students from Portugal that are also part of the National Digital Leaders Program that this year also celebrated its 10th edition. They're not only shaping digital well-being initiatives in their schools, but they also represent the wider voices of young people. Please, colleagues, a warm round of applause for our students, Marta, Carolina, Inês, Sofia, and Luís. Please join me on stage. Good morning, bom dia. Very nice for you to join us. As I said, we will talk about successful and meaningful digital well-being initiatives in schools, and the way we have structured together actually our conversation is that first, of course, I let the students to introduce themselves, but also share with us already their perspectives on digital well-being. We will hear about some existing or aspirational initiatives here from Portugal to see meaningful digital well-being initiatives in schools. And lastly, we also give the young people the opportunity to address to you their hopes, their needs, and their ideas of what should come next. So I would like to start to give every one of you a first word. Please introduce yourself, tell us a little bit more about your school, where you're coming from, and most importantly also, what does digital well-being means to you? And we can start with Marta. Yes?
I don't know if this is on. Yeah, it is. So, hello everybody. My name is Marta, as Sabrina said. First of all, I would just like to give a very big thanks to European Schoolnet for the opportunity and for the always eager approach in always hearing what the students have to say. This all makes us very happy to be contributing. I'm from Lisbon. I'm from a private school right here in the center. I have been a digital leader since 2023, and last year I became a big European ambassador. And yeah, for me, digital well-being does not always mean the absence of problems or challenges when facing the online world, because if we are realistic, we'll always find them wherever we are on the internet. But it means that students are properly informed and know what to do when they encounter problems and who to talk to and report these types of situations. So not the absence of problems, but really knowing how to tackle them. Thank you.
Thank you, Marta. Sofia?
Hello, good morning, everyone. First of all, I want to greet my colleagues of panel, the moderator Sabrina, and of course you, the audience. My name is Sofia Melo. I'm 17 years old. I'm in second year of high school here in Portugal. I come from Aveiro, and I'm in the same school as Carolina. Our school is not that big, around 500 students. And for me, digital well-being in school means that you can circulate in computers, in the internet, without the fear or without feeling fear of what you can find there, and also without the fear of being judged by other colleagues or friends making laughs at you because you don't have the right skills. So for me, not having these two problems is a solution for well-being in schools. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Carolina. I'm really happy to be here today and to talk to you a bit and here with my colleagues of panel. I'm 16. I'm from Aveiro, like Sofia said. And for me, digital well-being is basically about finding a healthy balance with using your phone, social media, everything that is available on internet. I think it's really important to be critical about what you see online. For instance, AI, we all know it's really dangerous nowadays. And I always try to remind myself that not everything that we see online is real. I've also learned it's super important to just be yourself and not compare yourself to others, to not be what others expect you to be. That whole fear of not fitting in, that whole fear of just not belonging, it's honestly just unnecessary because you're just being yourself like in the real world. And finally, I also think that if you're usually respectful and responsible in the real world, that will just come through in the way you act online too. So yeah, that's my perspective. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Inês. I'm also really happy to be with you today. I'm 15 years old. I'm in the 9th grade. I study at the school in Vialonga, a town just outside Lisbon with about 2,000 of students. To be digital well-being means using technology in a healthy and balanced way. It's about making the most of screens to learn and connect while also knowing when to take a break. It includes being safe online, using social media responsibly, and making sure that technology help us instead of harming us, both at school and in our personal lives. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Luís Almeida, I'm 70 years old and I'm from Vagos and town in Aveiro district. First of all, thank you for the opportunity to be here today. And what does digital well-being means for me? In an ever more digital world, it's natural for well-being to be confused with digital well-being. So for me, if we can create a digital world based on human values, and if we can create a digital world that is as good as the real world, then digital well-being is assured. And if we are all the good digital citizens as we are real-world citizens, that is the perfect, and we are creating a good digital well-being.
Thank you so much, guys, for the introduction. Colleagues, you can see a lot of opinions and expertise we have here on stage. So thank you very much for sharing your first reflections on what does digital well-being means to you. And we can see that it's a very personal and also evolving concept. Now I would again like to invite you to share with us a bit more in depth specific digital well-being initiatives in your school. As said, these might be already existing projects the young people are already involved in, or ideas they have what could work well in the future. And I would also like you to reflect a little bit when sharing these initiatives with us, and this will be very useful for the audience to share really honestly with us how effective you think they are. What is working well, what could be improved, and also most importantly, again, the how students are involved in shaping these initiatives. We also, I think, have some slides in the background, and we would start hearing first from Inês.
Okay. So I'm going to start talking a little about the Digital Leaders Project. The Digital Leaders Project is an initiative present in some Portuguese schools. It's aimed at promoting the conscious, responsible, and balanced use of technology among students. We live in a world where technology is everywhere. The internet and the social media are part of our daily lives, but many young people still don't fully understand the risks and the consequences of excessive use. This includes issues like cyberbullying, digital addiction, exposure to inappropriate content, and even self-esteem problems caused by the social media. The goal of the Digital Leaders Project is to train students to become positive role models in their school communities, students who better understand the digital world and who help others use it in a safer and in a healthier ways. At my school, the project started about 2 years ago. Since then, we've carried out a variety of small but meaningful activities, such as webinars for parents, where we talk about safety online and the role of the families in guiding digital habits, presentations for younger students using simple languages and relatable examples. And we also did sessions on online well-being, where we discussed topics like screen time balance, social media pressure, and of course, mental health. Like you can see on the screen, these are some of the activities that my school have done so far. Even though it's a young project, we've received great feedback from students, parents, and even teachers. I think one of the biggest successes is how we make digital topics feel real and relevant, because we are not just saying, put your phone down. We are explaining why and showing how. I believe that this type of project needs to keep growing, because there are still many students who are not fully aware of their online behavior. And that's why our role as digital leaders is so important. What could improve? I think maybe having more time and space in our schedules for these actions, and more collaborations between students and teachers when planning activities. After all, we understand teens better than teens. Thank you.
Thank you, Inês. And yeah, you see here on the slide, colleagues, some impressions from the Digital Leaders Program, which is really a national-wide program. And as I said, this year it's already in its 10 editions. And I think a lot of students in Portugal have benefited from it. And I think some two takeaways from your intervention already: time. We need to have more time. We need to give more time to the students to engage in such activities, and also the conversation between the students and the teachers are essential. We go to our next initiative, and we hear from Sofia and Carolina.
Okay, so I will introduce first the project, but me and Carolina are going to or a talk or Carolina talk to give you a dynamic presentation of what project anti-bullying is. Why we choose to show this project to you that has been running in our school for 3 years, because it has been having a great impact and a great success among the school community, so we find that perfectly to introduce to you.
So basically, anti-bullying project is a project inspired by the Kiva project from Finland. And this is a project and a program that just provides a wide range of tools and materials for schools to just tackle, prevent bullying, and of course, anti-bullying.
Exactly like Carolina said, these are the main objects, and we get to them by intervening and prevent. And we do that by empowering all school community. But how, Carolina, we empowering them?
So, first of all, this is a project that has a 3-year duration, being this the last one that will end with a big international event in Aveiro. And it has been developed in different sections and sectors, empowering volunteers, students, teachers, and parents in different sessions separately. So in these sessions, we work with many partnerships, for instance, the universities of Aveiro and Minho, local politicians, psychologists, and of course with digital leaders. And in these sessions, we just discuss and argue a little about some main areas and subjects we think it's important to improve our school environment.
And also important to refer, these main areas Carolina just referred, are work based on the jigsaw puzzle. That is basically what is in the on the image. So the participants are divided into groups. They choose the groups or random groups, and then they are invited to get out of these groups and get in a group where there is a specialist from areas that Carolina said. For example, they choose to go to the group with the specialists of local politicians. So this person is going to teach them about leadership, for example. The police, like we have there, is going to teach the participants about the more serious crimes related to bullying or cyberbullying. And so on. We have other specialists, and then after a conversation with them, the participants get back to the groups, and there are brainstorm between them, and then became proactive people. So this is how the sections of empowering and capacitating works.
And then finally, these participants are called anti-bullying ambassadors. That's why our project is called anti-bullying. And why are they called anti-bullying ambassadors? They're called anti-bullying ambassadors because after being part of this project, they turn themselves into the new coaches, into the new trainers. So now they are the ones giving these sessions to other volunteer students, teachers, and parents. Again, separately. So teachers are going to give these sessions to teachers. Parents are going to teach other parents how to work in the community with their children. And then students are going to work peer-to-peer in these sessions again. And so, in the end, our main goal is not just to create an active community and school environment, but to create a proactive one. So we want everyone to be involved, everyone to feel safe, and everyone to be able to help the other if they see they need. For example, if their children is suffering bullying, cyberbullying in the school, the parents know how to act, their peers know how to act, and their teachers know how to act. And yeah, that's basically.
Yes, and it's because precisely of that this project is going on 3 years to involve the whole school and as a whole school approach to everyone be empowered to deal with bullying.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for presenting this project. And I think we heard it also yesterday from the addresses from the European Commission that the topic of cyberbullying is, of course, very a huge priority. So I think it was very great that you selected this project. Also, some takeaways here that you mentioned, this was inspired also by another project from Finland. So I think this is also what we are here for, to exchange beyond borders, to get inspiration of what other countries are doing. So I also hope that these presentations are useful for you. And then obviously it's really clear from your presentation that this project is really with focusing on empowerment and whole school and also community engagement. You showed us here on the picture the involvement also from outside school players, psychologists, police, so really activating and empowering the whole community, and also the ambassador scheme, not only for young people to be peer-to-peer ambassadors, but also for adults, parents talking to parents, teachers talking to parents, really like transmitting this knowledge that we are able to gain. So thank you very much again. Yeah, you want to add something?
I just want to add that in our school, for example, this kind of projects sometimes are seen as, oh, anti-bullying project. But in our school, the ambassadors are very well seen between peers. So that's a really good thing that's coming out of the project.
So another important point is also the recognition, like that the young people really feel they are seen, they're heard, and their work is recognized, because obviously this has to happen on top of everything else you're doing, your studies, your lectures, etc. So that's really great. All right, we will move on to Marta, that also is sharing 2 initiatives with us.
Yeah, so in my school, we have the digital leaders for quite a long time now. And we have these kinds of smaller projects that we develop, which have different aims. So this one was an anti-phishing campaign. This is actually a very dear project to me, because this project came up, this idea, when I was talking to my mother at dinner. She was telling me about her day, and I realized that there's so much being done by companies to prevent their workers from, and to help them identify phishing emails and to help them deal with that and not click on the links and all of that. But there's not so much being done at schools to prevent students from that. So I really thought that this action could come from schools and not just being introduced in companies. So I came to school and I talked to my teacher, and we thought that it was a good idea to start a campaign about this topic. So we forged emails that looked similar to the typical phishing ones we sometimes get on our email. And they had different topics. They all had that link that we know more than well we're not supposed to click, but that we were testing if they did. And we sent them to the school email. This was from 5th to 12th grade. We had 3 different topics for the emails. So for the 5th to 6th grade, the fake email was about a casting. They were selected to take part, so they had to click the link to see if they were selected. The 7th to 9th grade was a carnival parade, and the 10th to 12th grade was an exam preparation platform. We are all, and I can tell you because I'm a 12th grade student, we are always so tired, and we really give a lot of importance to our exams, so we thought this was a very good way to trick them, because we're always searching for other things we can do, practice tests, and this, I think, was the most effective one. So, yeah, so in our school, we actually have a school email, and that's where this emails went. So, something that was very funny was that the emails were sent, and only a few seconds later, we were able to take some conclusions from this activity. So what you see here is kind of the only data I can show you, because there's the whole personal data business, right? So this is what you guys can see. In green, we see the number of emails that were sent. So the yellow is the number of people who opened the email, which is very okay. That's not the problem. The ones that click the link are the problem, though, and you can see the statistics right there. So some of the conclusions we were able to take from this initiative was that most students opened the email. Some of them even clicked on the link before the classes started, so before we started talking about this. And funny enough, we had some digital leaders, actually a few of them, who clicked the link. So we had to really have a conversation with them about what phishing is, because they are the ones who are supposed to be role models, so something here was clearly not working. And we also saw that students from different ages, especially younger ones, started identifying the signs that the email might be fake. For example, the email address was similar to our schools, but not precisely the same. So they started to identify that, and they started coming to the teachers and also the IT department and telling that there was something wrong, that the email was under attack, and they really felt like they were taking action. We also received a lot of emails from parents to the school, and this shows them that they either really care about what their kids say is happening with their email, or they themselves are seeing their kids' emails. So this was also very interesting. And I was in my class's group chat, and immediately they were starting to send messages. Please do not open the link and do not click the link. This is probably something fake or a scheme, so be careful about that. And in the hallways, we could see them talking about this matter. So it was very interesting to know that although some people are a little bit like our digital leaders, some of them are a little bit not aware, most of the community really is. So then we, of course, send emails to their homes just to warn their parents that we are not under attack, that this was all an initiative. And yeah, this was a very good project that we hope we can repeat in the future and see maybe the statistics going down. That's our main goal. Do I still have time? So the second initiative I wanted to talk to you guys about is the Student Assembly. So the Student Assembly consists on several activities that took place in an auditorium, just like this one, just like an assembly, organized by students from the 6th and 7th grade, and that aim to introduce and sensitize students from the 1st to the 4th grade. So really the very, very young kids. about digital well-being. So this project had essentially two phases. So the phase one was content presentation and teaching of the topics. So 6th and 7th grade prepared presentations that they did not present, but that they sent to the primary teachers that then taught these presentations in their class. So what were the presentations about? They were about different topics related to digital well-being with different levels of depth. So we had the 1st and the 2nd grade, which it's normally in our school, it's normally in the 1st grade that they receive an email and a password. So it was very important for us to teach them what is the safe password and how to safe keep their email. So it was mostly about that. And for the 3rd and 4th grade, they talked a lot about grooming with them and personal data, because this is usually the age where they start to have a WhatsApp account, which is very common here in Portugal. So, so we thought that would be the best theme to talk with them. So then we got to phase 2, which was the actual assembly. So on a scheduled date, students had the opportunity to take part in an assembly, as you can see in the pictures. So there was an assembly for each grade, so in total 4 assemblies, and all of them were led by the same 6th and 7th graders that made the presentations. In these assemblies, they got to vote and answer questions related to the contents they were taught in class. So as you can see, I only found pictures for the 1st and 7th grade assemblies. And they had only 2 options. The questions only had 2 options, which were either yellow or blue. And these were two answered questions, because this was all aiming to be a little bit more simpler, because we have to keep in mind that these students have 6, 7, or 8 years old, so they're very young. So it's very good to start introducing these topics, but we have to have a different approach with them. With the 3rd and 4th grade students, it was a little bit different. They had 4 options, so they had a green, a red, a blue, and a yellow card, and they also got to vote questions that were related to their presentation. So this was very good, because students from all the way from the 1st to the 4th grade got to learn about important topics and serious topics that are not always easy to approach with them, because they are very young and they don't have this notion of what personal data is, of maybe what AI is. So we needed to start simple, and we could. This was very, very, like the goal was, we met the goal. And then also the 6th and 7th graders learned by playing teachers, basically, and preparing both the presentations and the questions. And this was all so fun. I don't even think they realized this was a learning experience. I think they really thought this was just a game. And that was very fun, because all of them are very eager to repeat this, and we're always being asked, when will there be a new assembly? So this is a very fun way to show that we can learn and still be of interest for young kids, and we can start small. It's possible. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Marta. Yes. Wonderful, really wonderful initiatives existing, and just coming back to the fishing initiative, shock therapy, I think works. You know, I saw like many people nodding. I think all of us maybe have clicked on some links maybe we shouldn't have. So also again a particular focus on data protection, data privacy, which is of course really the baseline also when it comes to digital well-being, and also sort of how this brought the community together. All of a sudden parents were alert, and they are, you know, started to care, to interact. So I think a wonderful initiative, and probably a big lesson learned for everyone in your school. And the student assembly, and you just concluded it with it, early intervention to involve students from a very young age in different ways, in a fun way, in a gamification way, and also it's wonderful to hear that this was such a positive initiative that the students keep on asking about it to do it again. So I think that's also a great objective for all of us. We have one more project, one more initiative that we're hearing from Luís.
Thank you, Sabrina. I'd like to introduce you to the Desliga program, which means switch yourself off in English. Last September, the Portuguese government announced new guidelines regarding the use of mobile phones in schools. These include banning mobile phones for students of the age of 12 and introducing restrictions for older students. In January, the Portuguese Directorate General for Education realized its own recommendations, a document written by experts from different fields, which I invite everyone to read. Following these national guidelines, our school implemented its own measures in January to limit the use of electronic devices. Mobile phones are not allowed up to the 4th grade, and their use is restricted from the 5th grade up to the 7th grade. From the 8th grade onwards, phone use is also prohibited, and except during lunchtime. This division is also based on how the school buildings are organized by levels. In all cases, students may use devices for educational purposes when authorized by teachers. Before the measures were introduced, students, parents, and teachers are consulted through a questionnaire. Overall, the whole school community recognized the importance of introducing some restrictions. Of course, some people, often students, but also some parents, were against it. As a digital leaders, it's part of our role to help show the whole community that this really is one of the best steps we have taken. This decision was also negotiated with everyone involved. The student representative had an active voice before the rules were put in place and helped secure the lunchtime exception for older students. The school also organized 2 special days on 23rd and 24th of January to show the students different activities they could enjoy without using their mobile phones. During these days, 2 days, students played football and basketball, sang karaoke, danced, played chess and other board games, and took part in many other fun activities. These kinds of events continue regularly at school, and it's wonderful to see even the more introverted or digital dependent students connecting with others. Thanks to this, we're enviable to find alternatives to screen time almost it's on our own. This is also a flexible measure which can be adapted in the future as the digital world keeps evolving. From my point of view, this initiative was important to help students socialize more and to reduce the number of hours they spend online. Digital addiction can be just as harmful as other types of addiction, and schools have a key role in education students about these risks. In addition, this policy helps protect students' physical, psychological, and emotional health. And it's very positive to see that restrictions also helped improve the control of device use at home. We don't want students to stop using digital devices completely. What we want is for them to use technology in a balanced, responsible, and mindful way. And finally, I believe my school, is also continuing to invest in digital education and training for its students. And this is. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Again, a really nice project also with focus on smartphones, a very hot and controversial topic. We have heard about it yesterday, and a lot of opinions circulating aroused a lot of different approaches, but I think you highlighted very well, and also here on the slides is about regulation, moderated use, and also socializing and health. And I think what is really nice, a takeaway also from this project is to ensure that also children and young people who are more introvert to be part of such initiatives. You know, we really have to ensure with these initiatives that we try to involve everyone. And I think there are really nice ways. You mentioned a lot of offline activities to really involve everyone. Colleagues, I hope this gave you a very good insight. We see there are a lot of great and successful initiatives happening in Portugal that, of course, are carried by the young people. So thank you so much for being so involved and so active in contributing to this project. Before I would like to open the floor also to give you the opportunity to ask some questions or share some reflections with us. I would like to do one more round with you guys, and this time it's an opportunity for you to address the room, to share your wishes and your needs for the future. We have heard about great initiatives, but what do you want to see more of in school to support digital well-being? What is missing? What we can do better? And again, most importantly, what you would need from this room. We have a lot of expertise here in the room, policymakers, colleagues from the tech sector, teachers and professionals, so your opportunity to share your demands and your wishes with us. And we'll start again with Inês.
First of all, I think we need more support from teachers and experts, more time in our schedules for digital topics, where students feel interested and motivated to learn more about the digital world. I believe that we really need more projects like these ones that we've been talking in the schools. To policymakers and tech companies out there, involve us. We are the digital generation. We don't just consume tech, we live with it. So please, let us help shape the way it's used in schools.
Okay, so I'm going to refer to maybe platforms designers or platforms designers, because, or games designers, for example, because I think that in school we have to have more kind of these games, activities online on computers that help the students to learn about internet, to learn about not only digital skills but computer skills. So it's important to develop more of these games, of these platforms, students-friendly to use in school. Because from my perspective, when my teachers use these kind of platforms or games or wherever in class that we learn, everybody has fun, everybody learns. So I think it's a good thing to continue to develop on. So I give this opportunity to the audience. Thank you.
Go with Marta, yeah.
Okay, so I only have two messages. So the first one is for school professionals. I think one important message I would like to share with you and tell you, it's in regard to this mistaken belief that because online behavior is something that does not happen within the school ground, it's not the school's concern. I think that there are still some schools who think that just because this is beyond the physical boundaries of the school, it's not their concern. They don't have to act upon these behaviors of their students. The fact is that the school's purpose is to educate not only the subjects, but also the children, for them to be able to be active citizens that know how to behave, not only in society, but also online. I think when schools don't take accountability for their students' behavior, don't educate them, don't provide support when they, for example, want to report a cyberbullying case, I think this is where we fail the children, I really think. Because as Inês said, we are the digital era, we are the digital citizens, and we really need this help from school. So please don't give up on us and back us up here. The other thing I have to say is more for policymakers. I just wanted to tell you to never feel like the solutions you found for the challenges young people face online are already good enough or already effective enough. I really want to say that there's a lot of good work being done, and I'm not trying to go past that, not at all. But I feel like somewhere in the world, there's right now probably still a young boy or a young girl that's either suffering because of the fact that they have not been educated or do not feel protected enough, or because the people around them have not been educated enough and they're suffering because of it. So I think that it's very important for you guys to remember that you are what we aspire to be. You already have the power to change things. So involve us and make these things happen and never give up, please.
Thank you. Yes?
So I was thinking here, what should I say? Because they're all talking about really interesting things. And instead of sharing with you a wish or maybe a question, I would like to share with you one of the biggest concerns I've had. And I've realized this in my school, and now I realize that this is like a major problem, not only in Portugal, but all around the world. And this concern of mine is, are our schools prepared to teach our students, parents, students, teachers, parents? I've said it all? Okay. Are our schools prepared to just give our students what they need to learn how to act online? For example, our school is a great school and tries to get involved in all these projects, but sometimes we don't have like the right structure or buildings that we need. Our school is now being reconstructed, basically from the beginning, because it did not have the great conditions. But we all know for a fact that many schools around Portugal and probably around the world do not have the right conditions to teach their students how to react in different situations online, because they don't have access to digital devices. So that's a big concern of mine, and I would like you to think about this. Is this a problem in your school, in the school you work? Is this a problem you think that has a quick solution? Obviously not. But I think this is something we should all be thinking about, and maybe try and solve this, because this is not only, and I'm not talking only about Luís' school, Inês' school, our school, or Martha's, but all the schools around Portugal and around the world. I think this is really important, because how can we improve if we don't have the ability to? And yeah, that's my concern.
Thank you. One last word from Luís. Your demand and your wish.
After all has been said, a reflection that I leave to each of you, so that we can transform the digital world and make it safer, especially for young people. Australian proverb that I really like says this: we are all visitors to this time, this place. We are just passing through. Our purpose here is to observe, to learn, to grow, to love. And then we return home. Don't forget to observe, to learn, to grow, to love. In digital world and in the real world. In the real life and in the digital life. And if we observe, if we learn, if we grow, if we love in the digital world, then we are good digital citizens and we are securing well-being digital, well-being online. And finally, I apologize for my English. It's much, much more easier to sing in the shower, and I think I do it better. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All of your English is remarkable. Colleagues, you have heard the youth. I know we are running out of time. I don't know if we have just 1 minute to see if there are any questions from the room, any reflections based on what you have heard from the young people. Yes, I see one hand over there and a microphone is coming.
Thank you. Yeah, my name is Sarah, Epson Europe. I have one question. I would put some other aspects on the top of well-being, it's point of law. So I'm super curious to get some insights from you guys. Do you feel safe in terms of protection, in terms of civil rights, if you compare your real life into the digital world? So in aspects of having a police in the city, right? I think you know what I'm curious for.
Someone would like to respond to this?
All right, so I feel like all of us, thank you so much for your question, firstly. I feel like all of us, either way, we come from a very privileged environment because we are at schools, we are studying, and we know that the digital well-being is important and we have these types of activities, so we are already privileged. I have the feeling though, as you said, I sometimes feel like the internet and social media is no man's land, you know? Like people, and this is a reflection I sometimes have, like if you are a bully in real life, people will see you acting up and making someone else a victim, whereas when you are online, it seems like you have a shield. And I think that this should be exactly the opposite way, because we know that once something is online, it cannot ever be removed entirely. So this should scare the bullies. This should be a way to get them more easily. So yeah, I feel like it's very easy to feel a little bit left out and not safe on the internet, just because we don't feel like where's the internet police? Like who do we talk to? And that's a little bit my take on this matter. Anyone else want to?
I think you said it all. All right. Obviously, thank you so much to all of you for this contribution. I know we are a bit short on time, but I think we learned so much from you. And colleagues, the young people will stay with us for the rest of the day, so please feel free to continue the conversation with them during the upcoming breaks. Please join me another big round of applause for our digital leaders. You have shown us that when students are given a voice, the entire education community stands and can benefit from it. And with that said, thank you so much. And colleagues, let's carry on the work. I think we are leaving this session with a big to-do list. And yeah, with that said, handing over again to Tomatos. Thank you so much for listening.